Brazil. Brazil is the largest country on the South American continent. With an area of approximately 8.5 million square kilometers, it is the fifth largest country in the world. Its population exceeds 215 million, making it the most populous country in Latin America. Although the capital is Brasilia, the most well-known cities are Rio de Janeiro and São Paulo. Brazil boasts an extraordinary natural diversity, from the vast Amazon rainforest to white sandy beaches, from dry savannas to tropical islands. It shares borders with 10 countries and is in contact with nearly the entire continent of South America. This immense geography has blended different cultures, languages, and lifestyles into one cohesive society. When most people think of Brazil, they imagine samba, football, and colorful carnivals. But Brazil is a country with so much more to offer. First, let's talk about the world's largest and most famous carnival, the Rio Carnival. Every year, millions of people flock to this carnival, which is the result of months of preparation, massive costumes, and incredible dances. The streets come alive with colorful parades, samba schools, and an energy that is almost palpable. For Brazilians, the carnival is not just a party, it's a lifestyle. Football is another passion that runs through Brazil's veins. All across the country, children play football barefoot, and small goals are set up in the streets. The Maracanã Stadium is the holy temple of this passion. One of the largest stadiums in the world, Maracanã is not just a sports venue for Brazilians, but a sacred space. In short, Brazil is a fascinating country, where rhythm, passion, and life energy come together. Before we move on to the next section, if you've made it this far in the video, thank you, friends. If you'd like to support us a bit, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment. Brazil is not only a country with cultural richness, but also one with an impressive natural environment. In the north of the country lies the Amazon rainforest, often referred to as the lungs of the earth. With an area of around 5.5 million square kilometers, it is the largest rainforest in the world. Millions of plant and animal species live here, and new species are still being discovered every year. The Amazon River, which flows through the heart of this vast forest, brings life to the region. As the largest river by water volume in the world, the Amazon is so wide in some areas that you can't even see the opposite shore. During the rainy season, the river floods for hundreds of kilometers, turning into a vast water maze. But Brazil is not only about the Amazon. In the central part of the country, there is a massive savanna region called the Cerrado. This is one of the oldest ecosystems in the world, surviving for millions of years through various climate conditions. In the southeast, the Atlantic Forest, or Mata Atlântica, is located. While not as famous as the Amazon, it is of global importance in terms of biological diversity. Unfortunately, much of the Atlantic Forest has been destroyed, and today only small patches remain. Another natural wonder in Brazil is the Pantanal region. The Pantanal is the largest wetland in the world and remains flooded for nearly half of the year. It's a place where living in harmony with nature is possible. Jaguars, giant otters, red parrots, and giant snakes are just a few of the exotic animals that call the Pantanal home. This region is a paradise for nature photographers and wildlife enthusiasts. Brazil's coastline is equally impressive. Stretching about 7,500 kilometers, the coast is home to white sandy beaches, turquoise seas, and lush palm forests. The famous Copacabana and Ipanema beaches in Rio de Janeiro are among the most recognized beaches in the world. In Brazil, you can experience different climates throughout the year. While equatorial temperatures prevail in the north, cold weather waves can occur in the south during the winter months. This makes Brazil one of the rare places in the world where you can experience all 4 seasons in one country. In short, Brazil's natural beauty inspires both admiration and deep respect. It is a land that takes pride in having one of the world's most powerful natural riches. Brazilians are among the warmest and happiest people in the world. Smiling is almost a rule in daily life in Brazil. They are very sincere, outgoing, and hospitable to each other. As a foreigner walking through the streets of Brazil, it is completely normal to receive sincere greetings from people you've never met. You may even be invited for a long conversation over a cup of coffee. Brazil, a country of diversity and warmth. Brazil is a country known for its ethnic diversity. The mixture of African, European, and indigenous peoples is reflected in the country's demographic structure. The descendants of Portuguese colonists, African slaves, and native tribes form the foundation of Brazilian society today. This blend is evident both in the culture and in daily life. From food to music, dances to festivals, everything is a reflection of this rich diversity. For Brazilians, the concept of family is extremely important. Family ties are strong, and the extended family structure is at the heart of society. Sunday family meals are almost a sacred tradition. Football and music are also among the most important reasons for Brazilians to come together. The excitement in the stands during a football match or the rhythm at a samba night demonstrates their love for community living. Social life in Brazil is quite dynamic. People don't enjoy staying at home much. They go to the beaches, meet up in parks, and participate in outdoor festivals. There is always a celebration, an event, or a festival happening somewhere. Of course, Brazil also has its social challenges. Income inequality, security issues, and difficulties in education can sometimes make daily life difficult. However, despite these challenges, Brazilians manage to stay positive and celebrate life. Perhaps the magic of Brazil comes from this very spirit, a people who can still dance in the face of adversity. We all know some things about Brazil, like how they live and breathe football, host the Amazon rainforest, and have the world's biggest carnival in Rio. But what about the lesser-known aspects? Let's start with one of the most frequently asked questions. Why do Brazilians speak Portuguese instead of Spanish? The answer dates back to the 15th century, the age of exploration. In 1494, Portugal and Spain signed the Treaty of Tordesillas, effectively dividing the world into two parts. According to the treaty, Brazil's territory fell under Portugal's control. While almost all of Latin America speaks Spanish, Brazil followed its own path and continued speaking Portuguese. Today, Brazil is the largest Portuguese-speaking country in the world, with more Portuguese speakers than even Portugal. Here's another interesting fact. Brazil doesn't only speak Portuguese. Over 200 different languages are spoken across the country. Most of these are indigenous languages. In fact, there are believed to still be undiscovered communities in the Amazon region. These mysterious worlds showcase how deep and ancient Brazil's culture is. Consider the size of Brazil for a moment. The country is so vast that it spans across 4 different time zones. While it may be morning in the eastern part of Brazil, it might still be night in the west. Moreover, its land area is so expansive that nearly all of Europe could fit within Brazil's borders. Now, let's talk about coffee. Brazil has been the world's largest coffee producer for over 150 years. Most of the coffee we wake up to every morning comes from Brazil. And Brazilian coffee is not only famous for its quantity, but also for its quality. Regions like Minas Gerais, São Paulo, and Espírito Santo produce award-winning coffee beans. And of course, we can't talk about Brazil without mentioning its cities. Everyone knows Rio de Janeiro, but places like Olinda or Paraty are historic cities that serve as time capsules of Brazil's past. Narrow streets, colorful houses, and colonial-era churches. When you walk through these cities, you can feel time slowing down. Finally, if you take a close look at Brazil's flag, you'll notice a slogan at the center: Ordem e Progresso, order and progress. This motto carries traces of Brazil's history and its hope for the future. In short, Brazil is not just about football and samba. Brazil is a country of discoveries. Every corner holds a new story, and every step unveils a different world. And perhaps this is why Brazil continues to be a magical place that draws people in. That's all for now, friends. If you've watched this video until the end, we're grateful to have curious and open-minded friends like you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and if you like the video, the algorithm will give us a wink. If you share your thoughts in the comments, we'll explore more discoveries together. Goodbye.